So here we are looking at OBS Studio in its original condition. I've literally just installed it, and this is what it looks like when it's open for the first time. I've just clicked on Studio mode so that I get two canvases here like this. If I just click on again to toggle, you'll see what I mean. There's its basic mode, but I find Studio mode much easier for working and using to its full effect. The main parts of this screen to note are there are two canvases. This canvas is where we prepare anything that's going to be broadcast or transmitted or recorded, and this canvas shows what's being output by OBS to other places. Down here we've got a little window to select scenes. I'll show you these in a moment, and another one to show sources, and a combination of sources will make each scene. So let's go ahead and create a new scene. I'm going to click the plus button here and then name the scene. So I'm going to call this scene Basic Cam, because one of the things I want to do with OBS is use this to output a camera to show on other programs. So click OK, and there's a scene selected, but of course, as you can see, there's still nothing selected, nothing chosen yet. So I'm going to start adding some sources now. Plus, and there's all these different things to select. You'll note that OBS itself has already found the sound sources, and there, that little light going across there is showing the volume being picked up through the microphone into the computer. However, I want to add some more. So select plus, and here's a whole array, a whole load of choices of things we could add. So now we're going to add some of these sources to create a scene. If we go up to colour source, select that, and then colour source, OK, and we can choose a colour. So let's have a nice, what do we think? No, nice blue background, and click OK, and OK, and you can see straight away that that's filling that part of the screen. We can change the size of it so it doesn't fill all of the screen, and you'll notice this stripy bit here. That means that's part of a source that won't be visible. It's gone beyond the end of the canvas. Not too worried about that because it's just a plain blue everywhere. But if I want to do something about that, I can click right click and then transform and fit to screen. And now the blue literally fits the width of the screen. However, I'd like a blue background, so I really want it to cover everything. So I'm just going to extend that until I've got the background. The order of sources here determines which ones are on top and which ones are underneath. We'll see that as we start to add some more sources. Next thing is we might decide to add some text. So again, click add in the on the button just there, and text. Click OK. Yes, we do want to add some text. And then it'll give us a little box here. We can choose the sort of text, choose what we want to say. So let's make it very straightforward. I'm going to choose hello. And as I'm typing here, you can see what's happening in the background there, that's being added. And every time I add or subtract something, it changes there. I could change the type of font, the size, the colour, anything I like really. Well, I think that's okay for now. So I'll say OK to that. And now this is another source. It's a simple little text box. I can change the size. I can crop it. Let's put that, I don't know, up in the top corner there. That's for now. And how about, well, again, we'll have let's have a camera on here. So you see the picture of the camera there, video capture device. Click on that. If I'd already done this previously with another scene and I'd already got a device, it would say it there. I'm going to try and find the Logitech camera that's on this computer. I don't need to change the name at this point, but I might as well because I know what's coming up. Then I'm going to click OK. And here we can see, oh, there I am, hello. And now we can see a choice of different cameras. Well, that's the very one I wanted. So let's have a look what it's saying about it. Okay, all fine there. So, okay. And now this is also being shown. Now, if I change this, it changes the size on the canvas. It doesn't change what's being shown or what's coming in. And I've got the camera slightly at an angle to the computer screen, which is why I'm looking off screen a little bit. I can change by the size or position just by holding the nodes or by clicking and dragging. If I actually hold the Alt button on the keyboard while I'm dragging, it will actually crop to wherever I want. And that can be quite handy if I want to, for instance, have me talking in the corner of a screen while I've got something else going on here, which I'll perhaps show in another video. Anyway, at the moment nothing is being output. That's simply a preparation screen here. And we've got one scene. That's the basic, nothing on that. It's one scene that we've created. Looking now down the sources list, if I click this eye icon, you see what's happening? That makes things appear or disappear from the screen. And if I want something not to be able to be dragged around the screen, as I just have, then I simply click the padlock there, and now it's locked into place. I can't do anything with it. Okay, so I'll pause that for a moment. Now, to put this screen here into this window here, so it's being transmitted or broadcast or sent somewhere else, then I just either click transition. I can actually fade in and out like this using this slider. But transition just swaps those two windows over. Now, at the moment, it's all fairly boring. I've only got one scene, so let's add another. Obviously, one way I could do that is just simply clicking add and setting up in exactly the same way as you've just seen, but adding different elements or different sources. I'd encourage you to have a little play and see what sort of sources you can find, where they are on the computer. You could add things like photographs from your computer, you could add videos, you could add screenshots. I often use it when I'm tutoring to include PowerPoint presentations, so I can go through teaching with students. But that's a little bit fiddly, adding more and more stuff each time. So quite a nifty little shortcut is to right click and choose duplicate, and when I duplicate, it's going to create another scene with exactly the same sources in, but they're independent of each other, so I can change them. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so here, let's call this face cam. Okay, and now there's basic cam and there's face cam. At the moment everything is exactly the same. But if I turn the camera on here, and I'll make that bigger, I think the text, I can lose that. Different ways of doing it. If I move that down, that's actually going underneath. So the position underneath the sources box here determines which item's on top, which is next, and so on. So at the moment here I've got the camera showing on top, the colour source underneath, and the text is actually hidden away underneath the colour source. So I can make this a bit bigger still, put it in the middle of the screen, and then transition that onto that screen, the output screen. It's not actually going anywhere at the moment, but again I'll show you that in a moment. And then down here I'd select which screen is going to be next. Well, let's say that the next one I want to do is the basic cam. Again, it's just how we left it. So I could have that on or not. Change the text and transition like that. And that seems to work quite well now. So, having done all that, you're probably thinking, well, how do you actually send this picture anywhere? Now, if you're using something like Zoom, for instance, or, well, any kind of online meeting where you're using a camera, instead of using the camera attached to your computer, you can click this button here on Zoom, on OBS, sorry. If I click Start Virtual Camera, and now if I were to open a different program that asks for a camera, it would see the OBS camera. It would see what's being sent out by OBS from here and treat that as a video source into any other program. So that's a really handy little thing. If you want me to, I can explore that more in a separate video. Anyway, I'm going to stop that. I'm going to transition that. And I think I'll just turn that off there. So I hope that's been helpful in just a basic guide of one or two things to do with setting up OBS and how it looks. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and I'll be happy to follow this up. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.